I think we are live. Yay! We are live. Welcome. Welcome to another gray day here in Tokyo. And welcome to the first stream after my 5G upgrade. I just got the vaccination like maybe 30 minutes ago. The needle was in my arm, and as we all know, getting vaccinated means you're supposed to get better 5G signal, and also Bill Gates will come and hang out with you. So that's something you can look forward to tonight, or during this stream, maybe I should say. So I'm here in Otsuka, which is a neighborhood in northern Tokyo on the Yamanote line. Here's the station over here. There's also the streetcar which runs along the street here. The Toden Arakawa line, which I actually walked along it's like half a year ago now. So the reason why I'm here is because the clinic where I finally, after many troubles, managed to get a booking, or that's all credit to my wonderful wife, I managed to find an available slot and get me this shot. Is that clinic is located here, so that's the reason why I'm here. I don't really come to this part of town very often, but now since I'm here, I thought why not walk around a little bit and check it out, and then I think I will head towards Ikebukuro, which is a neighborhood that people often request, but where I rarely go since it's a bit far from where I live. But this is actually just one stop away from Ikebukuro, so that's like, killing two birds with one stone. Improved 5G signal and a walk in Ikebukuro. What could go wrong? And yes, I noticed some of you are talking about my beer breaks, and alcohol is not really recommended after getting the vaccine. So today it might be a Pocari Sweat o'clock rather than a beer o'clock. And thanks for the super chat, George. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's actually a few of these nice little alleys here, so let's walk through them and see what we find. Some sort of sweets, Ranko filled something interesting. Jaywalking. Well, that was just a tiny little side street and no street crossing. It's like this. You're not really jaywalking because you cross this street, right? So yeah, we'll see how I feel. If I start to feel any fatigue or anything, then I will probably end the stream. But so far so good. They had me wait 15 minutes at the clinic after getting the shot, and then I waited another 15 minutes or so before starting this stream. So hopefully it will all be fine. But if not, yeah. What shot did you get? I got Pfizer. I had a booked appointment for Moderna last week, but since I didn't receive my vaccination voucher on time, I had to cancel that one. Yeah, unfortunately there's a big shortage of vaccines right now in Japan, so we were supposed to get booked, or we did automatically get booked for shot number 2 3 weeks after this one, but yesterday or 2 days ago they sent out a mail saying that that's been cancelled until further notice. And seems like that's what's happening in a lot of places. Actually, in some areas of Japan they're even cancelling the first shot even to people with bookings. So that's really bad. yeah, I can't. So the thing, what they do here in Japan, most clinics, is that they open up like for a week or two at a time. So right now there's not many places that have like open bookings for 3 weeks from now. So I have to wait a little bit, then I have to try and find a second available slot somewhere. Thank you, Darla Chontos, for juice or sandwich. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So back here at the station area. So I will pass through here to the other side of the station. My wife will get hers tomorrow at the same clinic as I got mine. If all goes well. So can I walk through here? There's a lot of political campaigning going on right now in Tokyo. And since it's a Saturday now, there's a lot of people out almost at every station. There's some political campaigning on. Let's see if we can cross through here. So here's the tram I was talking about. The only remaining proper streetcar in Tokyo is what I've heard. A beer explorer. Good nickname. Very, very appropriate for my channel, except for today. Because today there won't be any beer. So yeah, here you have more campaigning politicians. This is actually the Japanese Communist Party. Interesting. They're actually quite big. They're like one of the major parties, even though it's not like one of the top, but I think like fourth largest maybe. You record a 4K on the tram. Not today. Not today. Maybe some other time. Maybe some other time. It looks like they rebuilt the station area quite a lot. Lots of new buildings around here. And I really don't come here often at all to this part of town. This looks like it's the nightlife part of the local nightlife district with some girls' bars and whatnot. It's funny how like almost every station has at least some little street with those kind of establishments. So 300 viewers already. Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by today at today's stream, which will be a walk from Otsuka station to Ikebukuro and possibly a little bit further than that. We'll see. Yeah, those like politicians, they're super loud. And they also have this weird habit of just kind of running around in cars and just shouting someone's name, just repeating someone's name over and over and over and over, which seems a pretty odd way of promoting one's policies to me, but yeah, that's a very common thing they do here, and a lot of people are really fed up with those. She hasn't taken a breath. Yeah, maybe not. Don't know. Oh. And here's the facade of a love hotel. Hotel Princess 3. Thank you, Vigilant. Yeah, let's get vaccinated and return to our normal life. Yes. I feel really relieved now that I got my first shot, because it was so difficult to get a booking. So this feels like a big, important first step back towards something that resembles normal life. We're still obviously very far away, but on a personal level, this certainly feels like an important first little step. It's rainy season in Japan. Yeah, that's right. That's right. There was actually on morning news like some areas not too far from Tokyo, actually, in Shizuoka and Chiba, which are both relatively close to Tokyo. There were some pretty severe floodings going on there, and like I think one house got like flushed away in some very violent flood. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Lightly sparkling mineral water. Yes, thank you. And yes, George, I had to wait 15 minutes at the clinic to see that there's no side effects. That's the norm here in Japan. Oh, Bob Sunds, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So these should be, yep, this is the Yamanote line tracks here, so I'll just follow them for a while. Over there you can actually see a bit of Skytree. Let's see, let me zoom in. Its image quality will be pretty crappy, but it's actually very cloudy, so you can't see all the way up to the top of Skytree, just to the upper observation deck, but then the clouds start. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, let's walk down here and follow the train tracks until we get to Ikebukuro. Thank you, Dan. Chemistry as well for the super chat. Hope you can have coffee later on. Yeah, coffee would be nice actually. I also have some drink that I got before the shot, because one of my viewers, who is some sort of medical professional, I don't know the exact title, but a medical professional in New York, and this person recommended me to stay hydrated, so I got a bottle of this salty lychee, which is very tasty and a very good drink to stay hydrated. Yes. But thank you, Courtney, for all the advice. I don't know if you're watching this right now, but thanks for the email. I read it once again when I was on the train on my way to the clinic, and it was helpful. The thumbnails are very impressive. Thank you, thank you. That's good to hear. Yeah, I to those of you who are on my Patreon, I now have a thumbnail gallery where you can download the photos that I use for my video thumbnails. So that's one more little perk that all my Patreon followers get. So thank you, George, for taking a look at that. That salty lychee sounds really tasty. Yeah, it is. It is. It's one of my favorite like Japan-only drinks. Actually, I think it's way more tasty than Pocari Sweat. Although it is quite sweet. Despite the name, it actually tastes very sweet. So yeah. Did you get both shots? No, I don't think they ever give both shots at the same time. There's supposed to be at least 3 weeks between shot 1 and 2. Gloomy weather, but it's actually this is a nice view. If the weather was a little bit better, this is a pretty neat view with the sky tree back there in the middle. Yeah, it was pretty chilly this morning actually. For the first time ever, I felt the need to wear like socks while making breakfast. I'm usually barefoot, so it was pretty chilly, but now I can clearly feel that the temperature is slowly creeping up again. And again we have this, that reminds me, I need to do a weather check, right? Let's see, I hope this is not a dead end. So okay, it's 25 degrees now. That's a nice mirror reveal you are getting now. Reflection reveal. Anyway, 25 degrees and 80% humidity. Yuck. So this is also for the Communist Party. Some of the things they want to do is cancel the Olympics and like improve the welfare system as well, and better like action against the corona pandemic. Thank you, Boom Shakalaka. Thank you. You do have a Goku hair today. Yeah, maybe. No, not really. I don't know. So let me just take a look at the map here to figure out where we are and where we're heading. Yep. We are indeed on track towards Ikebukuro. Now I can actually feel, now I'm holding the gimbal in my left arm, which is the same arm as where I got the shot. And now I feel a little bit of pain in the arm actually. Nothing bad or anything, but up until now it was like I didn't feel anything. I might have passed here during my Yamanote line walk. Yeah, I did pass along the tracks for quite a bit, so could have been here too. Yeah, that's right. That was the Yamanote line that just passed. Oh, wait! Don't tell me. Is this a dead end? Oh no! feels like there hasn't been any. Was there any streets here recently? I think I had to walk back quite a long bit actually. Yeah, I think 5G signal has improved since getting the vaccine. Yeah, I think so. So far there's been no buffering, right? So I think that's probably thanks to the vaccine. Although sadly the phone says that we're currently on 4G. Yeah, this is streaming directly from my mind. That's right. Okay, so the address around here is actually Higashi Ikebukuro already, so I think we're in Ikebukuro. I'm pretty sure this high-rise is close to Ikebukuro. Would you dare try streaming on the iPhone 12 again? Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. No, I'm not trying to get home. I'm walking around. I'm getting lost on my way to Ikebukuro. Then once I'm done with this stream, I really have no idea for how long I'll be going. But when I'm done, I will take the train back home. Huh, interesting. This is a coffee shop. Asian coffee food. Pond Owl. Look kind of interesting. Oh, look at this house. Wow. Yeah, right, the landslide, right, in Atami. Yes, I saw that too. That looked really dramatic. This is certainly abandoned. The abandoned houses in Japan is getting a bigger and bigger problem every year. I think they're close to like 10 million abandoned houses in the country. And due to pretty strict laws, they can't really do that much unless the owners kind of give their permission. And in many cases, they can't really find the owners. So, yeah. Do you feel okay? Yeah, I feel great. I feel great. Tiny bit sore in the arm, but that's all. That's all. 400 plus viewers now. Thank you. Welcome. If there's any new viewers out there, please make sure to read the FAQ in the video description before you join the chat. But once you've read that, you're more than welcome to join the chat. Why can't they find the owners? Yeah, good question. I don't really get that either, how it can be so difficult. But it's more like they probably have someone's name in a registry somewhere, but the challenge is more like to figure out if that person is still alive, and if not, then who's like the legal owner instead, and so on. Ooh, Rockaway Siren, that sounds horrible. You got bitten by a dog. Had to get rabies shots. Wow. That's pretty hardcore. Hope it ended well. People always ask, why are the streets so empty? It seems like everybody thinks that Tokyo is packed with people everywhere. But residential parts of Tokyo are actually surprisingly quiet. And you usually don't have to walk very far in order to find them. Just like you know, a few blocks away from the main shopping district, and it can be super quiet. So the area I just walked through, it was one of those. But now we're heading towards Ikebukuro, which is way busier. So that's the Ikebukuro Sunshine building, which was a pretty iconic high-rise when it was built. I think that's actually Ikebukuro station down there, but let's do a little detour on our way there. Dormy Inn, that's one of these big chains of budget hotels that you find all over Japan. I think they usually have a hot spring or hot bath, like public hot bath, in most of their hotels. I'm not sure if they have it in all, but in some places it's actually been looking quite nice, especially considering that it's a budget hotel. It's been many years since I last stayed at one of those though. Now we are heading to the part of Ikebukuro known for its high concentration of stores selling boys love manga. So it's like Akihabara but for girls. I'm not gonna go into more detail about what boys love manga is, but if you're interested you can Google it. But yeah, it's quite an interesting phenomenon. And basically this street that I'm walking on now, like this bunch of shops selling that, so it's quite the first time I came here I was very surprised, especially once I actually looked into some of these manga and saw that they're pretty graphic. I think, yeah, I should probably head down this way. Pretty cool building. I think it's just a parking garage. So once we cross this street we're getting to the busier part of Ikebukuro. And then from there I think I will continue heading south, basically along the Yamanote line tracks. I'm not sure for how long I will walk today, but at least one more stop. It's only been half an hour so far. So. But yeah, it kind of sucks that I can't do a beer break today. Ah, your son lives around here, Take. I see. Convenient location. Does he enjoy living here? It's quite busy, I guess, but some people really enjoy that. Others prefers a bit more quiet areas. Still feeling okay? Yeah. Feeling fine. That little hint of pain in my arm that I felt is gone now. Oh, nice. They're doing... they closed down this street for traffic, so it's all pedestrian only now. How painful was the jab? Oh, that was super quick, and I hardly noticed it. I was expecting it to be, at least to feel like a pinch, but yeah, it was... I didn't feel anything. And then it was over. Doing one of your old rail line walks. Yeah, kind of revisited. I'm actually thinking about doing a new version of at least the Yamanote line. I do want to do that in 4K too, but it's just such a long walk, and it would be super boring to do it without the company of you. Quite busy. Then again, it's Ikebukuro on a weekend, so it's kind of to be expected. Then chemistry. No, my wife gets her tomorrow. Feels like Akihabara. Yeah, maybe. The selection of shops is quite different from Akihabara, I would say, but maybe. Yeah, most like Japanese shopping districts tend to look quite similar to me, actually. Redmans, you also felt lonely watching my 4K video. Yeah, right? It is, and especially recording them. I mean, when I do live streams like this, it's always so much fun that I hardly ever want to end the walk, but doing a 4K video, even like half an hour, feels like ages. It's quite boring, actually. At least 4K walks here in Tokyo, because they're not very exciting for me. I would probably enjoy it more if it was like somewhere else. Lots of people. I think it's kind of below average if you compare with what it used to be like before the pandemic. But for pandemic era, I think it's kind of so-so. Yeah, the 4K videos for me is more like I record those for places that I really want to be able to revisit once I leave Japan, I think. It has to be like special. It has to be a great walk in order for me to do a 4K video. I'm having some of this now, by the way. you stay in Japan? I don't know. Right now I hope that we can move next year, but not sure if that's realistic or not. So let's head down towards the station for a little bit. Are you seeing more commercials or ads for the Olympics? No, don't see many ads for it now. No, hardly any ads. I mean, there's like banners and flags hanging on streets and facades and everywhere, but other than that, I don't know. It feels like a lot of companies probably want to distance themselves from the Olympics because it's such a polarizing subject right now. Ooh, we just passed 500 viewers. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. And again, if there are any new viewers out there, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please read the FAQ in the video description, where you will find answers to a lot of commonly asked questions. And once that's taken care of, you are more than welcome to hang out and socialize with us in the chat. Pretty crowded here. So yeah, Ikebukuro station over here. Also lots of electronic stores over there. There you have like big camera. So. Yeah, well, Jenny, you know that this year's Olympic is not your average Olympics, and still like 80% of the people here in Japan are against the Olympics. So yeah. Will you photograph at the Olympics? No, don't think so. I really don't want anything to do with the Olympics. I would never say never, but most likely no. Doing lives around this time or a bit earlier works well for us US viewers. Yes, I know. That's good. Ah, right, down here there's this nice park. Let's go there. What's up with constant bird chirping near every intersection? That's the sound of the traffic lights. So it's for people who rely on their hearing so that they can know if it's okay to cross or not. Hello from Sweden. Hej, välkommen. Let's see. Well, yeah, lots of people watching now, and the chat is moving quickly. So I'm sorry if I am not able to read your every single comment. I heard the government collapsed recently due to a housing crisis. Yeah, Yeah, there was this kind of vote of no confidence due to a problematic situation in the government, and it was all triggered by a proposal to introduce, like right now, the cost of renting an apartment in Sweden is regulated. So landlords can't charge whatever price they want. They can't let it be all up to the market. And that's some parties suggested to remove that rule. And that was what kind of triggered this parliamentary crisis, because one of the parties who is kind of in the coalition right now are very strongly against removing that. So yeah, that kind of eventually might lead to our head of state. He might have to resign. To be honest, I haven't really followed that entire thing that well. I feel so disconnected from Swedish politics now, living here. But it's a quite unique situation. It's not something that has happened before in Sweden, I think. I think it's the first time ever. Yeah, here's this. What's it called again? Minami Ikebukuro Park. But of course, because it's a pandemic, you're not allowed to sit on the grass. Holding the Olympics is fine, but having a picnic on the grass is too dangerous, so people are not allowed to do that right now. But it's a relatively new park, this. I think it was just opened a few years ago. It's quite nice. Oh, thank you, Boom Shakalaka. Thank you very much for always being so generous. I appreciate it. There's some ducks, no doves. Were there ducks as well? I don't know. All the birds I'm seeing right now are doves. But yeah, it's a pretty nice park. Especially when you're actually allowed to use it the way it's intended. Are these? No. For a moment I thought these were tomatoes, but they're not.ね、予約は結構大変ですね。妻がすごいなんか一生懸命頑張った。いっぱいいろんなクリニック電話したと、オンラインの予約もなんかたくさんクリニック探してたけど、やっと一つここの大塚にあるのクリニックやっと予約できました。So now I'm a bit off track again because Ikebukuro station and the train tracks are actually this way. Now I think I'm heading somewhere else, but never mind. Does your arm feel heavy? No, for a brief moment I felt a little bit of a kind of light pain. But now again I'm actually holding the gimbal in the arm where I got my shot and it feels fine. Your wife is great. Yeah, she's pretty great. I agree. Shushin wa doko desu ka? FAQ 動画の説明にあるの説明読んでください。スウェーデン人ですけど。Right now I'm in Ikebukuro. Yes, that's correct. Oh, this is an interesting building. Fun music. Weather looks nice. It's okay. It's very humid, but not too hot. Thank you, Jack MR. I love your streams. Any news on international tourism? No, unfortunately, I still think no one knows when Japan will open up again. Oh, that was a cute little bus that just passed. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, I don't even think the government themselves knows when they will open up. I think it depends on what happens now, what happens during the Olympics, what happens with this Delta strain. Everything is still very unclear, and I think the government is really worried about opening up too soon. I wish they were as worried about the Olympics, but they're not. Yeah, opening up for international travel seems to be pretty low on their priority list. Yeah, thank you, Boom Shakalaka. It's a lot of people commented recently about that they look forward to seeing my streams from Europe and Sweden and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. I really need a change of place, and I think it would be great. Ideally I would want to just travel around Europe and just shoot as many videos as possible for a couple of months. As soon as I can, but I have other obligations here in Japan, so we'll see when it will happen. So here's the map. We are here in the middle. Ikebukuro is there. The Zoshigaya graveyard is there. There's a station on the Fukutoshin line, Zoshigaya, up there. Otherwise, there's not that much in terms of public transport around here. I mean, Ikebukuro is a major hub, of course, but there's also a stop there. Higashi Ikebukuro station on Yurakucho line. A girl I follow in Tokyo went to a shisha place. Okay, that's fine. Why would that be dangerous? I mean, yeah, smoking is not good, but it's other than that, I think it's fine. There's lots of those here in Tokyo, actually. So also he's saying yes, Pfizer vaccine will protect me from the Delta strain, at least to some extent. So that's why I feel a lot of relief right now. But as I mentioned yesterday, there's about 2 weeks until the vaccine kicks in. So this might actually be the last video from central Tokyo in 2 weeks. Because during those 2 weeks, right now, it's just so much on the rise and looks really bad. So I will stay in my home area for the coming 2 weeks, I think. So yeah, there will be a lot of Futako Tamagawa and Kawasaki walks coming up in the coming weeks. So I'm sorry about that. But better safe than sorry. Coffee, yeah, that would be nice. Actually, some iced coffee would be perfect. Ah, I think, yes, let's go down here. Just got here. Yeah, I got the Pfizer vaccine. Next time someone asks, please, maybe someone can answer that question in the chat so I don't have to repeat it 100 times today. So yeah, I actually, a couple of years ago, a friend of mine used to host events here at this place, Cafe Pause. It's a pretty nice cafe. It was a really nice monthly event, kind of like a talking event. But actually, yeah, I really enjoyed hanging out there. But sadly, that friend no longer lives here in Japan, and the event is no longer taking place. Thank you, Trevor, for the coffee money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I will just... Ideally, I would like to find some little coffee kiosk or something where I can just buy it out on the street. But I'm actually not very familiar with Ikebukuro. I don't come here often at all. I might just get a iced coffee from the convenience store. Oh, here's a coffee shop. Let's see. Oh, this looks like a place where I can get a nice coffee.じゃあ、テイクアウトでアイスコーヒーお願いします。サイズはレギュラーで。はい、レギュラーで。あ、コールブルーはね、水出しアイスコーヒー。水出しアイスコーヒーで。以上でやります。はい。はい、ありがとうございます。I need a third arm. I still need a third arm. But I got myself a coffee. Oh yeah, Action Kid also made the mistake of switching to iPhone for live streaming. Yeah, I kind of... Well, I mean, I use the iPhone as my main phone now, so I guess it's not that bad, but I did actually buy it just because I was expecting it to improve the quality of my streams, but that was a huge mistake. I did not have to make sure to get the shot in the left arm. That was like the default. I think they give everyone the shot in the left arm. So let me just... I need to put the gimbal down for a moment. I don't know if they had decaf. I didn't ask. do need an assistant, yeah. I do need an assistant, I do need another arm. I need a lot of things. Okay, let me just sort out my little handling difficulties here. Oisha. Okay. This coffee was way better than I expected. Very nice, very strong taste. Olive contemplating making cup holder for gimbal. That's a great idea. That would actually be more useful than umbrella holder for me, I think. Is it sweet? No, it's not sweet at all. It has a very kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but almost licoricey flavor to it. Very like strong coffee taste, but yeah, with a hint of licorice. How do you drink coffee, stream, walk and talk at the same time? Yeah, I'm amazing, right? I can multitask so well. Looks like a Coke. Yeah, it's actually not that dark in color. Finished it already. I guess I was thirsty, although coffee isn't really very good against dehydration. But I only had 1 cup this morning, so I usually have 2 cups by lunch. If I started to feel sore in my arm, no, I did feel for a very brief moment. In the beginning of the stream I could feel a little bit, but now it's fine. Now I'm actually holding the gimbal in my left arm, which is the same one as I got the shot, and yeah, feels fine. I will most certainly feel sore later. So, great, 7-Eleven here. Let's see if I can find a trash can. Great! I had coffee, now I have both my hands free again. Everything is great. Yeah, symptoms are supposed to kick in. Let's take these quieter back streets rather than walking on the main street. Yeah, symptoms are usually kicking in from 6 hours after the shot. So we'll see how I feel tonight and tomorrow. Much better. That's a pretty interesting shape this building has. It's almost like not triangular, but almost. Since you're so active, you might feel sore later. Yeah, I don't know. What I've been told is kind of the reverse. Like if you are staying active, if you are using your arm, you're less likely to feel pain than if you just kind of do nothing. But I don't know about the scientific evidence backing that claim. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I'll let you know during tomorrow's live stream if there's any issues. Here's another. Oh, here's a little temple. Yeah, a little temple there. Let's take a quick little look. Okay, it's very small, very hidden. Yes, Fukuro, it's real time, it's live. Brad Ward, yes, of course. Saturdays and Sundays are on top of my priority list for streaming, because usually those are the days when most people are able to watch. Now we are in Minami Ikebukuro. Huh? Cute little statue here. Don't know what it is for, but quite nice. Let's head down this way. Let's get lost here on the back streets of Minami Ikebukuro, a part of Tokyo that I'm very, very, very unfamiliar with. I honestly feel that everybody's kind of blowing these side effects a bit out of proportion. Yeah, you might get a little bit of a sore arm, but come on. Compared to the risk of having to spend weeks in an ICU, I know for sure which one I would pick. And yeah, a bit of a sore arm, it's nothing. We'll see. Maybe I will have to eat my words tomorrow. But really, doesn't seem to be. Even in the bad cases of a sore arm, it's still just a sore arm. I think this is indeed a path towards the shrine, yes. I think we have a shrine over there. Are you Asian or European? Read the FAQ in the video description and you shall find out. Thank you, Tamiya Frog. You have great streams. Thank you very much. Now I know where I am. I've been here before. I was even here on a stream before. But I did approach it from the opposite direction. Well, thank you, Taira Uchida, for explaining that little statue we just bumped into. Thank you. The gondola park? No. That was in Ikebukuro. Oh, this is a nice little shrine that I passed on my... I don't remember which walk it was. Maybe the streetcar walk. I think so. I think I came here during the streetcar series. Arm is fine. Arm is just fine. It's able to hold the gimbal very well. I don't think it's shaking more than usual, so all good. All good. Good tree, this. Good old solid tree. It has been through a lot. This is part of the shrine. Not an art installation. Shrines are usually often have these red gates called tori. Konnichiwa, katsuobushi. And if I remember correctly, there's a pretty nice street down here. You use the microphone? No. For my live streams, I just use the built-in mic in the S21, which is surprisingly good, actually. That, I would say, the biggest upgrade once I got the S21 Ultra was the improved sound quality. That alone was worth switching phones for. Sounds like we're approaching another political rally. Yeah, we need to make a Tokyo Explorer Tori Gate at some shrine, right? That would be nice. We should look into that and see how much it is. Yeah, the built-in mics is quite impressive on this phone. Lots of nice small shops here. Nezu Jinja would be nice, yeah. I don't know if it's actually possible. Here's like some small little tourism information office. And this looks like a small cafe. Unfortunately not open today. Or maybe it is. Oh, it is open actually. Bit expensive though. 600 yen for a cup of coffee. No, they're not protesting against the Olympics. They are just kind of trying to get people to vote for them. in the upcoming election. Here's another coffee shop.
心よりお願いを申し上げまして、ご当地をお借りいたしましての街頭からの最後の訴えを終わらせていただきます。ご近所の皆さん、また歯医者さんのところにも長時間にわたりましてご迷惑をおかけいたしました。ご協力いただきましたことを心より御礼を申し上げます。ありがとうございました。
Yeah, they just finished today's little rally, it seems. So, okay, interesting. Now we get our first view of the high rises in Shinjuku. Can you see them? Let me zoom in. That's Shinjuku over there. So if I keep walking this way, I am heading towards Shinjuku. Not sure if I will make it all that far. And here's the streetcar tracks. Looks like they're doing some major construction here. I think it was like this last time I came here as well. So doesn't look very nice right now. Yeah, maybe I should get into politics. Vote for me, get free salty licorice. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, Comb Party. Yay! So, exactly 500 viewers. Looks like it's dropping now. Maybe the loud politicians scared my viewers away. Let's see if it will recover. Yeah, Ray for city council. He will put cones everywhere. Like this. Like this. This is what all of Tokyo would look like. 山手線ではないですね。これは都電荒川線の線路。ここです。この下。But yeah, okay, now I remember. I'm actually pretty close to Waseda Station, which is the final stop of the streetcar. Question, please. Okay. There's some stairs there, but I need to cross the street first, which I can do over here. We should go rest. Oh yeah? I've only been walking for an hour. That's nothing. Supposedly steepest street in Tokyo, really? Which one? This down here? Oh, actually now I realize I could just take the stairs down here. Is this the steepest street in Tokyo? Really? I did not know that, but yeah, I will just go down here. labeled on Google Maps. I see. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'd never heard that before, but thank you. See, that's one of the great things about doing these walks, that thanks to my viewers, I get educated about Tokyo and get to learn more and more about this city. So that's also one of the hidden bonus benefits of being a walking YouTuber, walktuber. You get tired after vaccinated? Side effects? No, not yet. So far so good. So far so good. You are our Tokyo tour guide. Thank you. But my viewers are also sometimes taking the role as the guides, because sometimes, quite often, they know more than I do about the place I'm passing through. So it's a teamwork effort, which is really awesome. Streetcar incoming, I guess. We got a nice little streetcar shot here. I think we can. I think we can. Here it comes. There's the streetcar. Cute little streetcar. Good old streetcar. Tony, my wife will get vaccinated tomorrow. Oh, Yari, you're leaving. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by today. Oh, really? Tako Tamaga was featured in Tokyo Eye? Tokyo Eye, is that on NHK World? I should check it out then, see what they say about my local neighborhood. Oh, you're not leaving, okay. Someone said bye Yari, so I thought you were about to leave. But maybe it was the other way around. Someone else was leaving and said goodbye to you. I see. Good, Yari, good. I was feeling a little bit disappointed that you, one of my most loyal viewers, was going to leave midstream. That was very unlike you. So I'm glad that that was not the case. Sorry for causing the confusion. Now everybody thinks you'll be leaving. Yeah. Sorry. But it's okay. If you need to leave midstream, of course, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Tony, sorry to hear that you're not feeling Genki. Hope you'll be better soon. We are confused now. We are indeed, Yari. We are indeed. Here's a very old residential building, by the way. I have quite a few loyal viewers. Yes, I certainly do. I certainly do. And that brings me tremendous amounts of joy. Were you following a rail line? Oh, kind of, but still kind of not, kind of, yeah. I'm just kind of walking randomly today. But I am walking south towards Shinjuku. And I'm following the tram. the Sakura tram here. And then there's also Yamanote line a few blocks this way. So, but it's not a very kind of, not like a serious following a train line kind of walk today. It's just a random walk. If that makes any sense. Can we cross over to the tram line? We can, but the thing is the tram line turns left here. And I'm not. So I actually think I will stay on this side. Oh, maybe go down this way. I don't think I've been here before. This is a new street, and I can see the Yamanote line train there, far in the distance. This looks like an interesting little coffee shop. Takematsu. Good. I think it's better for your financial situation to be addicted to my walks rather than pachinko. Wonderful barber sign. Okay, now we're actually getting closer to Takadano Baba, it seems. Okay, Tony, get well soon. Take it easy. Don't say that place name too many times in a row. Takadano Baba, Takadano Baba, Takadano Baba, Takadano Baba. Why not? Takadano Baba. It's a funny name. This looks interesting too. Coffee, some foods, communication space. Also, the eagle-eyed out there probably saw a pretty good. Oh, this looks amazing. What shop is this? Bento shop. Super old. This entire street feels like it has been kind of frozen in time since I don't know how long. Early Showa. Okay, let's go down here. Yeah, go somewhere else to spread anti-vaccine propaganda. This is not the right place. I don't know, maybe not early Showa, that was just a guess. I would say more like maybe 50s. Early post-war. That's what I would guess, but I'm not an expert on those things. Oh wait, I think there's a river down here. I like rivers. I like rivers. Ah, I see. This was originally known as Otsuka. That's interesting. There's a Otsuka in Yokohama as well, close to Kamakura. But then again, Japanese cities often share similar place names or the same place names. I like rivers. Yeah, the T in T is for Tama. Oh, I think the water is pretty high right now. This is Kanda River, if I'm not mistaken. I think Tamagawa was a little bit like the water level was higher than usual as well this morning. You have to wait 15 minutes before you could leave the vaccination site. Yes, yes, I did. Yeah, my side effects are an increased need for likes. That's right. Likes. Some super chats would be good also in combating any side effects. Okay. Indeed, Kanda River. Shinsui Shisetsu. Okay, so I think this is something to prevent flooding, but I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna try to pretend that I understand that sign any longer. Oh yeah, joining me on Patreon. That's always a good thing. That will get you access to lots of goodies, like Patreon only streams, my thumbnail gallery, bonus posts with photos from my past when I was a photo model here in Japan, and a little bit else, a little bit of everything depending on your tier. But yeah, the link was just posted in the chat, but you can also find it in the video description. So if you are interested, please check it out. Oh, thank you, Maria, for the super chat. $1. One Konbini coffee. Cheap super chat for minimum side effects. Thank you. That's great. Set up here. I think we should be approaching Takada no Baba by going this way, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe this way. It should be. Is it time for a water break? I'm okay. I still have a bit of left of my salty lychee. Maybe I will take a sip of that, but I don't want to challenge my bladder too much. Which one is the best, pachinko or beer? Oh, I don't like pachinko at all. I think pachinko is horrible. So certainly beer. I would gladly drink beer every day. I would not gladly play pachinko every day. Finish this guy. Thank you, Ray. For dispelling tinfoil hat propaganda. City is really big. Yeah, Tokyo is pretty big. By some measurements, it's the biggest city in the world. Lots of police here. Yeah, I prefer the stock market rather than gambling as well. Even though sometimes I wonder how big of a difference it actually is. Which one do you think is best, gyudon or katsudon? I think I prefer gyudon, actually. Yeah, katsudon is not really my favorite. In that case, I prefer like proper tonkatsu. But katsudon is a little bit too messy. Yes, Takadanobaba station here. Let's dash. Dash, 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 dash. Anyone with pineapples? Yeah, gyudon with pineapples. That would be awesome. I would try that. So now, yeah, we're at Takadanobaba station. And I'm kind of thinking if I should wrap up today's stream here or if I should keep going. Let's see. Hawaii Dawn. That's brilliant. I would be surprised. I'm surprised no one has invented that yet. Keep going. Yeah, it's a weekend after all. Maybe I should do a little bit further. A little bit further. It's okay, I don't feel like I need to rest or anything. Just that the weather is a little bit boring and my motivation is not super high. But let's walk a little bit further. Sometimes I said Takadanobaba in front of my wife. Yeah. Maybe you scared her. Don't go. Okay, I'll walk one more stop at least. One more stop on the Yamanote. Motivation, yeah, super chats are always good to boost my motivation. Just a little hint. So is this going to end up being a Otsuka to Shinjuku walk maybe? Or potentially a Otsuka to Shinjuku walk? Another question about food, sushi or sashimi? That's a good question. I really like both. Sashimi is like, I don't know, I have sushi way more often, but it's just because it's so easy. Also, here is one of the best arcades in all of Tokyo. They have lots of retro games. I wish that's actually one place that I would consider contacting and set up a permission to shoot at some point. But yeah, I really like both sushi and sashimi, so can't really. Sashimi is a little bit, it has to be at a good place in order to be really tasty. Sushi is more like a safe bet. Even like a cheap sushi in Japan is generally okay. Yes, Mikado, that game center. I think some YouTubers went there. I think you have to pay them to get the permission to film, but it might be worth it. Also, here's a melon pan shop. If you ask me, I think melon pan is probably the most overrated Japanese snack. But kanelbullar or kardemummabullar. I think, again, I like both, but kanelbullar is the real deal. That's the original one. So Cafe Ole Tokyo. Interesting. Never seen that before. Kind of a weird name. Another question about food. Do you want to eat grilled beer meat in Aomori? Yeah, would be interesting to try. I'm not sure, I might have had it already actually. I think we got that on one of the press tours I went to Tohoku. But I'm not sure. Don't remember. If I got it, it didn't really leave that much of an impression. Matsuya versus Yoshinoya. I think I prefer Matsuya actually. Not because of their gyudon, but on Matsuya they have something called bibindon, which is kind of like a mixture between bibimbap and gyudon. And that one is pretty good. I like that one. Do you travel on the bullet train? Yeah, quite often, yes. Usually when unless I'm going really far, like to Kyushu, I prefer to take the train. Yeah, I think Matsuya has more interesting menu. Yoshinoya's menu is kind of boring. They don't have so many options. Thank you, Jamie, for the motivation meter. Thank you. That helps a lot. And good job, Jenny. kind of crave natto. Oh, really, Petri? I don't, but I can imagine that once you start enjoying natto, I guess it can be kind of addictive. I'm not a big fan, so... But, yeah. Oh. So I think we have to cross here. Pedestrian bridge here. Another silly question about food. Have you had whale meat? Yes, I have. It was really not tasty at all. And it's not something that I would order because of the moral implications, but when I was new to Japan, I went to an izakaya with some Japanese friends, and they ordered whale bacon and wanted us to try it. I think this was when I was still in language school. We were a bunch of people, so they wanted to hear our opinion. They didn't tell us what it was at first. And yeah, it was really not tasty at all. It tasted like really bad fish or something. I don't know, I can't really explain. But it had this very kind of thick and deep taste, if that makes any sense. It was very unpleasant, actually. Have you had Icelandic fermented shark? No, I have not. I've heard about it, and I don't think I would like it. Also, eating shark is also quite problematic. What's the gross Swedish fish that stinks bad? That's surströmming, which is a kind of fermented herring. By the way, 555 viewers now. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, it's a kind of fermented herring, which is horrible. It's really, really disgusting. So I don't recommend anyone to eat it unless you want to cause yourself harm. Fugu is fine. Fugu is actually, the taste of fugu is very, very weak. But you usually eat it with, like, you dip it in a kind of sauce. I think it's like ponzu, some ponzu based sauce maybe, I don't know, a bit sour flavor if I remember correctly, which makes it taste quite good. But the fugu itself is relatively tasteless and kind of chewy in texture. It's not that good, if you ask me. No, it's not rude. Fermented herring is disgusting, both in practice and in theory. It's fine. Right, it's ponzu with fugu, right? Not tried surströmming yet. Lived in Sweden for 35 years. Yeah, I've never tasted it, but I've been around people eating it, and that was almost enough to make me vomit. So that it's really that bad. It's a very, very strong smell, and it doesn't taste like something that you are supposed to eat at all. Okay, Yari, you're supposed to eat soon. I think I'll stick with ramen. Yeah, that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. Oh. So it looks like we have an apartment for sale here. Surprisingly cheap, actually. 19th floor, south facing, 81.56 square meters, 69.8 million yen. So maybe about 650,000 US dollars ish. And it looked like it was in a relatively newish building as well. Oh, it's in here. Okay, it's not that new. I see. But yeah, it's open. I can go and check it out now if I want to. Very expensive for me. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money, but considering that we're in very central part of Tokyo, within walking distance from Shinjuku, it's not, I mean, it's cheaper than if you want to live in Futako Tamagawa. So that's kind of crazy. Heard it's better to purchase land than apartment in Tokyo. Well, depends. I think it's pretty difficult to live if you only purchase the land. I think you might have a hard time sleeping and living a comfortable life. Apartments aren't that bad, actually. Houses are worse. Apartments generally seem to hold the value a little bit better. But houses are very, yeah, they're basically worthless after 15, 20 years. Probably noisy to live here. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. They probably have decent soundproofing, but yeah, if you're opening the windows, it's gonna be loud. Blood pudding. Oh, I actually like blood pudding. We eat it a lot in Sweden. It's quite nice, but I think it's a bit of an acquired taste. Why are they worthless? Because Japanese houses are not built to last. Apartments are. Buildings like this are built to last, I would say, at least 50, sometimes 100 years. But detached, cheap houses usually get demolished before they are 30 years old. And they have very little value over time. They lose all the value over time. So we are getting closer to Shinjuku. Feels like it wasn't long since I walked there. It wasn't long since my last time in Shinjuku, actually. Just a few weeks ago. What about the land the houses are on? So that's where the value is, yes. The land might increase in value over time, especially if it's in an attractive location or central Tokyo. However, land in the outskirts or in the countryside is next to worthless in many cases. No coffee time today. Oh, I had a coffee. I had an iced coffee in Ikebukuro. about an hour ago, maybe. Yeah, in Sweden we eat blood pudding with lingonberry jam. It sounds weird, but it's very tasty. I like that. We usually get served that in school a lot when I grew up. It's a very common food to get in the Swedish school back then. Most people can't live permanently in Japan. What do you mean by that? I think people who want to live permanently in Japan quite easily can do that. As long as you have a job and a source of income, it's pretty easy. My typical Japanese house I bought 30 years ago is almost collapsing. That's a headache for me. Yeah, I hear you. It seems to be quite a headache to have a house, and especially considering the relatively harsh climate here in Japan with typhoons and pretty extreme heat, and when the houses are so flimsily built. Yeah, I understand. I would not want to own a house in Japan, to be honest. Milli Vanilli, foreigner. Foreigners? What do you mean? Yeah, a lot of foreigners live permanently in Japan. I'm one of them. I lived here for 13 years. I could, if I wanted to, I could spend the rest of my life here. And I have lots of friends who are non-Japanese, but they got... Yeah, I have several non-Japanese friends who bought houses actually in Japan. It's pretty easy. Getting a loan here is easy. And it's relatively cheap as well. So yeah, I don't really agree with what you're saying about most people cannot live in Japan. This little corner of Tokyo feels very much like you're somewhere else in Asia, because there's lots of these shops run by non-Japanese selling exotic food, and even durian. Didn't someone ask about that a while ago on a stream? We sell durian here, 1800 for 1 kilo. I didn't know a foreigner can live in Japan permanently. Oh yeah, once you lived in Japan, I mean, getting a visa is pretty easy. And once you lived here for 5 to 10 years, sometimes even less than that, you can apply for permanent residency if you want to, which usually makes it easier to get a loan if that's what you want. Yeah. And even without permanent residency, you can buy a house if you have the cash, or if you can get a loan maybe in your home country or something. So yeah, and getting permanent residency is also relatively easy here in Japan. Once you've established yourself here. Why don't you buy that durian for your wife? I don't think she would appreciate it. So we're at Shinjuku. Since we came all the way here, I might as well walk to Shinjuku, right? Let's do that. Do you have permanent residency in Japan? No, I don't. I don't feel the need for one. I could apply for it if I wanted to, but since I'm planning to leave Japan soon, and my current residence permit is until 2023, I think. So yeah. Actually becoming a Japanese citizen is even easier than getting permanent residency. But becoming a Japanese citizen means you need to revoke your other citizenship, which is something I would never want to do. No, it's not that you need to have Japanese descent to apply for citizenship. It's actually pretty straightforward and relatively easy. I know a few people who did that, but yeah, like I said, it means you need to revoke your current residency. No, you're not allowed dual citizenship in Japan. No. Super local, quiet residential street here. I'm retired. I don't want a full-time job. Then it might be difficult to live permanently in Japan. But maybe if you have enough assets and if you are willing to do some sort of investments, it might be possible, but I don't know. That's a pretty rare case, and it's not a very common place for retirees to move to Japan. So that might be a bit tricky. But if you're working here and living here, like most people my age, then yeah, getting to stay in Japan for as long as you want is relatively easy. Getting closer to Shinjuku. It's turned out to be a pretty long walk. Yeah, there are certainly many other Asian countries that are easier to move to, especially if you're not planning to work in the country. Then I don't think Japan is a very suitable option. Are you a fan of the original Iron Chef shows? I don't know. I have never watched that show. I don't know it. Have you eaten Brazilian food in Japan? Yeah, a couple of times. I've been to some like Brazilian barbecue places. Is Japan a good place for vacation? Someone asks. I don't know what to reply to that. It really depends on what you want out of your vacation, and where in Japan you will go. But Japan has a lot of things going for it. If you go to Okinawa, you have lots of beautiful beaches and tropical islands. If you like big cities, Japan has plenty of those as well. If you like skiing, I heard Hokkaido is nice. If you like hiking and nature, there's lots of places in Japan worth visiting as well. Japan actually has lots of national parks that are quite gorgeous. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good place for vacation. But then again, it really depends on what you want to do on your vacation. Yeah, if you haven't been to Japan, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty cool place. I like it here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed for 13 years. Longer will you walk? I don't know. I am approaching Shinjuku now, and I will definitely end my walk in Shinjuku. Yeah, Japan is pretty cheap. I think so too, compared to many other places. Compared to Europe, I think Japan is quite cheap. Any prefecture you haven't been to? Yeah, I think there's 6 prefectures that I haven't been to yet. So I hope to be able to knock those down before I leave. Feeling tired yet? A little bit, but yeah, I don't think because of the vaccine. I think it's just because I've been walking for 2 hours without any proper break. And it is pretty hot and humid, or not so hot, but it's humid, which is quite tiring. Beer time. I really wish I could have a beer now, but it's not really recommended to drink alcohol after having the vaccination, so no beer for me today. No beer for me today. You're in good shape. Thank you. Yeah, I ended up walking from Otsuka to Shinjuku today. 15,600 steps so far today. Does that mean no beer for 2 weeks? No, it means no beer for 2 days maybe. Then I think it's fine. But yeah, it's not recommended directly after the shots. It's a beer vaccine. Yeah, I'm vaccinated against beer. That's awful. That's awful. Grab a mineral water. Yeah, I will have a drink soon either. Yeah, we'll see. I think I will end the stream once I get to Shinjuku station, and then I will probably have sit down somewhere. Maybe have some ice cream would be nice as well. And certainly some water. Do you think Japanese are pessimistic about their future? I think so. Yeah. I think a lot of people are. There's a lot of challenges ahead for Japan. And actually when you travel in Japan, it can feel quite depressing sometimes because you see so many cities that are more or less abandoned, or like there's only old people left. So you don't feel that at all here in Tokyo, but as soon as you travel around Japan, it's actually, yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit sad. It's a big problem, the depopulation and the shrinking population. That's a very severe challenge for the future of this country. That's good. Not when you rely on a financial system that only has two options, which is grow or collapse. Then having a shrinking population and a shrinking workforce is certainly not a good thing. But sure, if you don't think about that little detail, then there's definitely arguments to be made that fewer people wouldn't be problematic, considering that Japan is very densely populated. But yeah, if we're talking about the reality for most people in this country, people who need to work and earn money and eat and live, then it's tough. Yes, we're getting close to Cocoon Tower. And yes, Atari building. Well spotted, Jenny. Well spotted. Oh, ambulance here. Takematsu asks if we have the same depopulation problem in Sweden, and both yes and no. Since we have pretty large immigration, the population of Sweden is growing, but without immigration, I think it would not be growing. And immigration comes with its own set of challenges. But that's also a very, very complex question that I prefer not to get into, especially now since I plan to end this stream pretty soon. Should we head through Omoide Yokocho? I guess we should. remember if you ever came here. Oh, really? This is quite a famous little street here in Shinjuku. I guess I should get a little... I haven't shot any potential thumbnails, so at least now I have one. But yeah, I think that will be it for today. It looks like the station area is extremely crowded, so I will cross here, just find a little quieter spot to wrap up today's stream. Is there quarantine requirement in Tokyo for foreigners? Well, if you don't live here, you can't visit Japan right now. If you do live here, there's quarantine requirements, yes. It applies to everyone, including Japanese people. Cool. Let's see. So that's Shinjuku Station over there. Yeah, 2 weeks quarantine. Depending on where you're coming from, the first 3 nights might have to be at a hotel designated by the immigration folks, and then the rest of the quarantine can be done at your own home. So yeah, that's how it works here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. It was a good 2+ hour walk today, so hope you enjoyed it. I'll wrap things up here and probably head home and relax a little bit, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye. Heido. Mata ne. Auf Wiedersehen.